Welcome to Education Talks. I'm David Burke. Greshma Momaya is an EduLeader and Teacher Mentor in India. She has vast experience in roles supporting teachers and parents in many organisations. I wanted to learn more about how she is making a difference to support emotional well-being and what she's discovered through visits to schools focused on alternative approaches in Bangalore, India. All right, well, Greshma, welcome to Education Talks. Thanks for being there. Where are you at the moment?
So I am from India, one of the most colorful and cultural country, and I am based in Bangalore, which is one of the IT hubs of India, and it's in the southern part of India. So that's where I am right now.
Fantastic. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your many current roles and involvements in education?
Okay. So I am in the education industry for last 15 years, and I have been involved in scripting curriculum, designing learning environments, conducting workshops for parents, for teachers. I am also involved in, one-on-one counseling. I am the ambassador of My Body is My Body program. It is actually a musical child abuse prevention program that is created by Chris Kais. So, this program is actually helping children protect themselves while protecting their innocence through music, through songs, through lessons, and fun activities. Most importantly, this is a completely free of cost program, and it can be used by social workers, it can be used by teachers, by parents, by after school program, by daycare givers. Anyone can use it. It is one of the most successful, positive, fun filled, and musical body safety program. The videos are actually animated for children, so that parents and teachers can show the video to the children. And we all know that when any information is shared through video, it is the information is retained, in a much better way in children's brain. So if a child is actually into abusive situation already, this program will give them the knowledge of what to do, whom to turn to, so that they can actually try and get some help. Also, this program starts for children as early as 3 years, and this program is, of course, also teaches children about what are their, what is a good touch, what is a bad touch, and everything through music, everything through fun activities. There is less of communication, like conversation, where teacher is not only giving information, but it is also opening some channels of communication for children, where children start opening up. And I have implemented this in the schools that I have worked in, and we've seen a tremendous change in children. They are more comfortable talking about it, and most importantly, parents have also started using it in their houses. So parents generally get very scared on how to talk to children about this topic, because it's a very, very sensitive topic. But this makes it very easier for parents to communicate, to teach them, or to talk about this topic. So this is a wonderful program, and it's available for everyone on their website. And I would recommend every school to use it in their school.
Now, you're quite I guess, a teacher mentor. Can you tell us
Hmm.
where did it all begin? How did you end up on this path?
So I started my journey in the education field as a teacher, and I did some certifications, and I got some diploma courses in teaching, and got into the teaching field. But whenever I was teaching, I was also studying about growth mindset. I was also reading about different methodologies, different approaches. I was reading about child development. Now, as I was reading and equipping myself with more and more skills and knowledge, I also realized, I also reflected on the mistakes that I was making as a teacher. Some mistakes could be the way I communicate with children. Whenever children are coming up with certain questions and certain information that they would like to share with you, we as teachers generally are so much busy that we will do some work and we'll not even maintain that eye contact with them. We'll do some work and we'll pretend that we are listening to them. So we'll tell them, okay, go ahead, I'm listening to you, but we are actually not actively listening to them. And this happens with most of the teachers and parents. Also, there were some mistakes like, I was not being gender neutral in the classroom. Like, for example, I remember I was teaching them about the community helpers, about doctor, teacher, pilot, and all the flashcards. The flashcards when we were using to show about community helpers. The doctor was always a male, the teacher was always a female, the nurse was always a female, the pilot was always a male. And I was happily teaching children about community helpers without realizing that I am not being gender neutral. So, why doctors are always male shown in any books and flashcards? We have to show them female and male doctors. I'll share one more experience and one more example. I was doing about a topic was family, and we were teaching them the roles of father, mother, grandparents. So most of the times we say the role of a father is to earn money and take care of the earn money for the family, and the role of a mother is to cook food and take care of the house and the family. And we've not realized that we are actually sowing the seed of gender bias right from early years. And when I was reading about it, I was reflecting on the mistake that I have done, that because now we have to change it. We have to say it like, okay, father and mother, both of them take care of the earn for the family and take care of the family. So these were certain mistakes that I felt that I've been doing it. I was reflecting on it. And then I saw that, like me, there are so many educators who are doing similar mistakes in the classrooms, unknowingly, unintentionally. But as I got aware about these things, I wanted to spread such awareness among other educators and teachers. And that's how I got into the path of being a teacher mentor and teacher trainer for different schools and for different teachers.
Fantastic. You're also very experienced in working with parents, particularly in the area of
Hmm.
counselling. Can you share a little bit more about this?
Yes. So right from the moment a parent who are about to be parents tell their family and friends that they are pregnant, and um, the little hints and advices about pregnancy and about parenting starts from there. Though parenting is one of the most rewarding experiences of life, it's also very, very time consuming and tiring. Apart from just tending to the daily needs of the child, parents are also responsible for helping their children develop social skills, life skills, emotional development, appropriate behavior. And because every child is so unique in their own personalities and the traits and the way they live their life, there is no one size fit all or a parent manual that every parent can read and learn parenting. So this actually leads to a lot of confusion in parents, and eventually many parents are very, very overwhelmed on their parenting journey. So my parent counseling session actually aims to provide parents with knowledge, like with the right kind of knowledge, guidance, tools, and emotional support, all without any judgment or any bias. In my one-on-one counseling session, I provide different therapies and modalities that actually help parents better understand their own parenting style the inherent parenting style, and then we also dive deeper into understanding how various problems and situations actually affect, and we, if required, we potentially change their parenting style. Because when a parent is actually equipped with the knowledge of how to resolve their own personal issues, they are actually able to give full attention to nurturing their child. Most of the times I've observed in my parenting session that it's more about the way how parents are communicating with children, how parents are dealing with their own problems, is how it's actually affecting their own parenting style. For example, there are some parents, anything anyone tells them, it's always a no, and the child is constantly seeing parents saying no for everything. No, I don't want to get up early. No, I don't want to do it. And that's how the child is also following the same thing. We are a role model for these children. So that's why I conduct one-on-one parent counseling session to really help parents on their parenting journey.
What is something that you're currently working on that you're excited about?
So apart from my the one-on-one parent counseling session, I am right now working with schools to actually enhance their teaching and learning process in the classroom. Um, in the last 2 years of COVID, what I have observed is that learning gap has really increased, and there were some urban schools who could afford technology, schools and parents who could afford technology, and the learning was going on. But there are some schools in rural or on the outskirts of Bangalore. They couldn't afford technology, neither the parents nor the school. So the learning gap has really widened, and I am trying to bridge that learning gap by enhancing their teaching learning process, by working on the curriculum, like upgrading them. I am working one on one with these teachers to actually improve the classroom communication, because everyone, like even teachers, have gone through a lot during the COVID times, and everyone is carrying some emotional baggage, and that is eventually being transpired into the classroom. So I am working one on one with them to really help them deal with their own mental well-being first, and then eventually improve the classroom communication. I am mentoring teachers to understand the misbehaviors in children, because yes, behavioral issues among children in the classrooms have gone little have has increased after the COVID. So I am helping teachers understand those behaviors and how they can deal with those behaviors in the classroom. And I am also conducting one-on-one counseling session with teachers to take care of their mental well-being, and most importantly, I am guiding them in their career pathway. Most of the times teachers, if they've worked for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, they've been teachers, they don't know how do we now climb the ladder of of the career. How do we go forward, what courses we need to do, or what kind of workshops we need to attend, or what are the roles that I can apply for in future. So I'm also working with them one on one to help in their career, and guiding them through their career.
Okay, so working with both parents and teachers, do you experience any pushback? Are there people resistant to being involved in these approaches?
Yes, in terms of parent counseling, I do see some parents who are not comfortable with parent counseling. Because what happens is that counseling is a term that they take it very personally. They say, "What, I don't know how to nurture my child, or how to take care of my child? Do you want to say that I am incompetent in taking care of my child?" So I do see certain resistance there. Also in India, counseling is not very widely accepted, as compared to other countries. The there is awareness, and there are many celebrities and counselors and psychologists who are trying to spread this awareness and making it normal. But counseling in India is not so widely accepted, so we do see some resistance. Sometimes if one parent is ready for counseling, the other parent is not ready for the counseling.
Mm.
But for counseling to really be effective, we need both the parents on board. So that's where we see some resistance, that no, parents do not want it. Sometimes it could also be a social stigma, because here many children, they stay in joint family, where there are grandparents also, where there are uncle and aunt, everyone staying in the same house. So again, if they say in the family that they are going for parent counseling, there will be other family members who would actually mock at them, or tell them that why do you need counseling, we are there, like especially grandparents, they say we are there to help you, why do you want someone else. Also, there is also a fear that some of the family issues will be out there in front of a stranger. So due to all of these reasons, I see some resistance in parent counseling. In terms of teacher mentoring or teacher training, I have seen that this year especially, I've seen that teachers are more open to learning, um, as compared to earlier years. I'm not saying 100%, but I see a lot of teachers who are now open to learning in terms of understanding children and understanding their behaviors, because as I said, the behavioral issues have really gone high, and they want to equip themselves on how to deal with children. And I also see a lot of change in teachers being more ambitious, especially in India. What happens is, after the woman is married and has a kid, even if they are working in corporate, they would move to a teaching field, so that they could maintain work life balance and they can take care of their family also. That's the main objective of actually getting into the teaching field most of the times. So but nowadays, even if they've got with that objective, I see that teachers are becoming more ambitious in terms of, they want to climb the ladder, they want to learn more and more approaches and methodologies. They are more connected with educators across the globe through different platforms. So do see that the resistance of teachers in such workshops or one-on-one counseling is much lesser, especially after COVID.
Greshma, I want to ask, in your experience working in a
Hmm.
number of schools in India, what
Hmm.
makes the biggest impact on the emotional well-being of children?
According to me, and in my opinion, it is communication, because you cannot hide anything from children, right? Every communication, every interaction you have with children, be it as a parent or be it a teacher, is a form of communication. And communication is not just about the words you speak, but the tone of your voice, the look in your eyes, the hugs and the kisses that you give children. Everything conveys some message to children. And the way we as adults communicate with the children not only teaches them how to communicate with others, but it actually shapes their own emotional development, and they also understand how to build a relationship later in the life. So for me, I feel communication has a huge impact. And even if you are verbally saying something, but your non-verbal cues do not match to what you are saying, children sense it really well. As I gave you one example, that we are doing some work and we are pretending that we are listening to them, but our non-verbal cues, our body language will communicate that we are actually not listening to them. So that actually helps also build trust. So a child, if you are actually not paying attention to them, but you are only pretending to listen to them, the child knows that maybe next time I would not go to this adult and share any information or ask any question. And your relationship with that child is broken there and there. So that's why for me, communication is so important. And some of the strategies that parents and teachers could implement would be actively listening to them. And when I say actively listening to them, it is actually coming to the child's eye level, maintaining that eye contact, leaning your body a little forward, and genuinely be interested in listening to the child. What is child trying to tell you? What are the questions? What are the doubts? You are actually building a rapport with the child when you actively listening to them. And just actively listening is not enough. Reflective listening is also very important. Now, when I say reflective listening, it is only rephrasing what the child is trying to tell you. For example, if the child is telling you, I do not want to play with this boy, so you just say, oh, okay, you don't want to play with this friend. Just rephrasing the same thing that the child has told you, the child will feel that, yes, you are genuinely listening to me. And the way you communicate, like, speaking clearly with them. Do not use jargons with children. Use very simple language that they are able to understand. And even the way we give feedback, the way we communicate feedback to children is so important. We just say, okay, good job. Rather, let's focus on the behavior that you are actually praising. Oh, I like the way you have cleaned up the toys, or you have put back the toys. I like it. So good job. So focusing on the behavior that you're trying to praise, instead of just saying nice job or good job. It's a very vague comment, and children actually can sense that you are not giving a real feedback or real comment to what they've done. So for me, communication is utmost important, whether being a parent or in the classroom. It's all about communicating effectively your thoughts with children.
And that's a very important thing, isn't it? I mean, I've even had people on Zoom calls or colleagues who are giving me that fake attention. So my strategy is to stop talking and see if they realize that I've stopped talking, try and get them to focus again. But it is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, you're currently taking a short career break. Can you tell us about that, and how has it been valuable for you, and perhaps how it might be valuable to other people?
Yes. So yeah, I am on a sabbatical and on this career break right now. I was very, very fearful of taking this career break because in last 15 years I have never taken a career break. So I always had certain fear that, okay, how will it show up on my resume, or about how will it all go financially. So there were a lot of fears attached to it, but once I got into this break, I understood the value of it and how it can really help me. So, the first thing that I started doing was actually reassessing my ikigai, what I really want to do, what is the purpose of my life. Last 15 years, I've only been, running, 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 teaching, going to school, coming back to home, just that. Somewhere in that 15 years, I've forgotten what my goals were, what is my purpose of life. So it has really got me back on my track, wherein I really want to focus on the purpose of my life. And it's just not earning money or leading a very comfortable life, but along with that, I really want to get into the rural Indian schools and help teachers and children there. So this break actually helped me reassess my ikigai. I'm also expanding my professional network, like getting in touch with you, and getting in touch with educators around the globe. Meeting a lot of educators right in Bangalore who are doing amazing work. Like I met this a school owner from Bangalore, and I was just we were having a lunch, and she was sharing her life story, and it was so inspirational. And the story only conveyed that how passionate she is about giving the right quality education to children. So I'm expanding my professional network. I'm also learning new skills, and gaining more and more knowledge about child development, about teaching, about how we can really make learning engaging in the classrooms. And I think that is more important, because what we do is when we are working 24/7, we are only focusing on the knowledge and skill that is required for that particular job or the work that you're doing. You do not expand your skills. So now I have the liberty to learn about whatever I want, be it in this field or outside this field. But even in this field, like in the school that I was working, we were following multiple intelligence approach. So I was only learning about multiple intelligence approach. But now there are so many other approaches that have come. Like I recently finished a course on project based learning in classroom, on how we can actually implement it in Indian curriculum and Indian scenario. So this time on my career break is really helping me expand my skills. And I am also focusing on my mental health right now, doing certain activities that I wanted to do, like meditation, like journaling, and getting into a habit of waking up early, and having a very slow morning. Because when I was working, I had to reach my school at 8:30, and you have to wake up early but just get ready and leave for work. So there are certain morning routines that I wanted to be a part of my lifestyle, which I am doing it. And one of the most exciting thing that I'm doing in my career break is I am visiting schools, as an educator, to learn about their approaches, about their methodologies, and how they are implementing it in the classroom and in their schools. So I'm visiting a lot of alternative schools here in Bangalore, and I'm amazed to see that Bangalore is filled with alternative schools. Like there are schools that focus only or follow only Reggio Emilia approach, or only project based learning. So I'm actually visiting those schools right now on my career break.
Sounds fantastic. Has there been anything that you've discovered that you're excited about from some of those visits to those schools?
Oh, yes, there were a lot of learnings. And the most important learning was that learning does not happen only within four walls. This is something that, like, Indian boards are very rigorous in terms of writing, in terms of reading, and it is more of academic and less of experimenting different methodologies. So it was a big learning for me that learning actually doesn't happen within the four walls. Children need to step out of the classrooms to really see how learning can be implemented in the real life. Because yes, Indian boards are not really application based as compared to international boards. So and I was also working in an Indian board school, so I had seen a very different kind of learning. And this learning that I'm seeing in alternative education is very different. Second is that schools can customize learning for children. The big positive of alternative education system is that they really value the individuality and creativity of every child in the school. The lesson plans, the schedules are actually kept very flexible, and children are taught at a pace that aligns with their own comfort. Every child is taught at their own pace. They believe in readiness philosophy. They do not push children to write or read. And Again, most importantly, in these alternative schools, children are not assessed on complex examinations, but instead the focus is on their personal development and growth and how they are actually applying their learning in the real life. In the schools, one thing that I observed was children actually enjoy learning. Vis-a-vis, I have seen children in my previous work experiences that there are some children who really don't look forward to come to school. They don't want to come to school for whatever reason, but they do not enjoy that learning. But in these school, every child was looking forward to learning something new. So what I learned was, if children in my school are not enjoying the learning or are not happy in my school, then my school is a misfit for these children. Instead of children being misfit in my school is not the right school, or is not the right kind of school that children should be in. This is my biggest learning, and I will take this forward in my future work experiences also. So
Fantastic.
these were some of the experiences that I had in alternate visiting this alternative schools.
No doubt that's going to be very valuable for the future schools that you work in. You're looking, of course, to expand your network, professional network, not just within Bangalore, but internationally as well. If people want to reach out and connect with you, how can they go about doing that?
So I am there on LinkedIn with the same name, Greshma Momaya, and I have Instagram and a Facebook page that is called Empower with Greshma. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on Instagram. I am there on all three platforms.
Well, Greshma, it's been wonderful to have you on Education Talks. So thanks so much for taking the time, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was lovely connecting with you, David. Thank you so much for being understanding and patient also.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Education Talks will be taking a break over the festive season and will return in the new year. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and the EdEvents YouTube channel. There'll be more information on the new EdEvents platform also in the new year. Thanks for all your support. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again in 2023.